What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Before we get started, make sure to like and subscribe, turn on post notifications so you guys get notified every single time a new post is uploaded. Today's post, I'm going to be talking to you guys about organization in life. Now, a lot of people, I talk to them and they have the right roadblocks. I see the potential. I know what they're trying to become, or who they're trying to become more specifically. Because if you don't know who you are trying to become, then that's a huge problem already. Because once you set that goal, then the foundations of building that person, building who he will become, which is you, is what starts to happen. Now, when you're setting expectations for yourself and hoping to get somewhere in life, you need to know how, but plans don't go as planned. They never do. That's just a known fact in life. There will always be some sort of roadblock, which is why you got to work to the best of your ability to get there. Now, for example, the book Atomic Habits, great way to get started. If you read that book, I can promise you, you will know how to organize your life and build the habits that you need to become that person that you want to be. But at the end of the day, that's not it. You got the mental. You could read as many Atomic Habit books as you want. You could read as many self-improvement books as you want. But at the end of the day, you got to look yourself in the mirror. You got to talk to the guy who's looking back at you and make sure you are doing what you need to do to become that person. Are you doing everything you said you'd do? Are you trying to do the things that you said you're going to do? Now, here's a little secret, and I think you've heard this before. In life, if you try your best, you can never fail. It's a cheat code. You bring two guys, they're about to fight. The guy who pushed himself to the absolute max, he is not going to lose. How can you lose if you've trained to the best of your capabilities? Now, the best of your capabilities is not just, oh man, I'm tired, now I'm done. No, you have to push those boundaries, and every time a new boundary has to get pushed. Because if you're always staying at the same spot, then you will never evolve as a human being. It doesn't matter how many books you read, it doesn't matter how many morning routines you do. You have to do what matters. Now, if you're an entrepreneur and you have to do cold calls every morning, then after that you have to do your client fulfillment, and you don't do that, well, guess what? Your clients are going to leave you, and then you're not going to get any new clients. You know why? Because you didn't do what needed to be done. Now, on the other hand, there's athletes. This is very, very controversial topic. Some people say there are the greatest athletes of all time. Let's say they bring you Mike Tyson and he's about to fight you. You're going to be like, well, obviously Mike Tyson's going to beat me because he has the experience. That's a whole different thing. Now, look at life like this. There is who you want to be and who you are. And Mike Tyson is somewhere in between there. Now, if you want to be the greatest boxer of all time, you train every day, and that's what he did. You push yourself to the max of your abilities, you will get to that Mike Tyson level. I don't think most people understand that. Once you get to that level, you don't just stop. You keep on going. Because if you can't maintain that level, then what's the point? It's like a guy, he works out every single day. He's working out. He gets super jacked. You're not just going to stop working out because you reach that physique. No, you got to maintain it, or else you're going to lose it, just like nothing happened. That's how everything is in life. You know, people talk about financial freedom. Yes, it is possible, but you got to work so hard that you get to that financial freedom. And people talk about, oh no, you can work hard and then you don't work hard later. Look at these people. Everyone around you, most successful people, they're still working as hard as they can. It's just a mental game. Who's gonna beat you? You gotta last longer than everyone. I can't stress this enough on how people think that just because they push themselves hard a few times, they deserve to be a specific somewhere. That's not how life works. Life isn't just sunshine and rainbows. Life is levels, and you don't just upgrade. It's not a video game, it's real life. You might get to level 5, then something happens in your life where you're back to level 1, and you just got to build yourself back up to level 5. And if you're not patient enough, then you'll never reach that level. Like I was saying, to set up the goals that you want to achieve, you have to set the roadblocks first. Now, the way you could do this is by tracking everything you do. Now, not just by opening up your notes app and writing down everything you're gonna do throughout the day. You gotta track it as specifically as possible. Not just the amount of calories you're eating a day if you're trying to lose weight, but the amount of carbs, fats, proteins you're getting in a day. This is how you keep yourself accountable, because at the end of the day, the more you start to lose yourself in your goal and you start moving away from it, and it happens a lot, trust me. There have been countless times where I've said to myself, I'm gonna do this thing, I'm hopping on a cut. Then you're like, okay, I'm done with all these things, I will only have meat, pause. Then a few days later, I'm like, yo, low-key, carbs wouldn't be too bad. Then you hop on carbs a little bit. Then you're like, low-key, upping the fat intake won't hurt too much, right? And then you realize, yeah, you might be under a certain amount of calories, but you're not hitting the goal you promised yourself at the beginning. And that's where the road starts to turn and twist, and you just end up in the wrong situation where you don't want to be at. Now, for your guys' sake, I would say start off simple. Another thing, you know, I have ran multiple businesses and I've worked with countless people. And the worst kind of person is the person who tries to overperform and underdelivers, but not just underdelivers maybe slightly a little bit. Underdelivers like by crazy, like they don't even end up doing the task basically. I don't want you guys to be like that. I would rather you guys build the habits from the ground up. You say you're gonna do one cold call a day. Now that's unrealistic, but one cold call every single day, then you build it up to 2, 3, 4, 5. I would much rather that than you say I'm gonna do 500. Then you either kill yourself to do 500 on the first day, then the next day, oh, I didn't do any, or you don't do any at all, or I just don't want any situations like that. I need you guys to systemize your lifestyle. And when it comes to systemizing things, you can't just throw numbers at a board and hope that they get done. You have to make sure you do it. You have to put in your calendar at 7 a.m. I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna do this, and I have to write down that I did this. After I'm done that, I'm gonna do the next thing. I'm gonna go swimming. Once I'm done swimming, that's my cardio for the day. That's tracked. Track. Especially a guy like me who's running a business and training. I have to make sure I get my weights in, I have to make sure I get my cardio in, and I have to make sure I get my fight training in throughout the week. I have to track everything or else I'm not gonna do it. That's just how life is. If you don't track it, it'll never be consistent. Then on the business side of things, that's a whole nother thing full of tasks. Now, even sometimes, life's not perfect. Your calendar will never adjust to you. So sometimes you have to find a way to adjust to your calendar. That's why I have recovery days. And recovery, not as in I'm gonna recover, as in, let's say I didn't hit boxing class on Tuesday, I know there's another one on Thursday. So I make sure I make it on that Thursday class if I'm planning on doing boxing twice a week, because I know there's another one on Sunday. So bang, I missed Tuesday, I still got Thursday and Sunday. You know, you always got to have replacements. And of course, you're going to be making sacrifices in life. Of course, sometimes you're not going to be able to make what you said you were going to do for X amount of reasons, or this happened or something happened. Of course, that's totally understandable. But if there is nothing in the way and you don't hit your goals, that's on you. That's a you problem, which is why everything needs to be systemized, everything needs to be organized, and everything needs to be, most importantly, structured and ready to be executed. If you'd like me to get more into the specifics, comment down below what you'd like to see. I'm going to be making a day in a life video soon, so you guys get more of an idea of how I do this, or maybe even a week in a life, so that you guys understand more how these roadblocks can come and impact your life. Because I promise you, I'm gonna show you guys at the beginning of the video that I have this to do, and something's gonna come in the way of at least one of them. Whether it's a system issue, whether it's a funnel issue, like something always happens, but you gotta have a backup and you got to make sure you hit it. Thanks a lot for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.